India has been hit hard in recent days by monsoon rains that have caused heavy flooding in the north of the country, especially in the mountainous Himachal Pradesh region. Dozens are reported dead there, thousands missing or just simply cut off from communication presently, including, according to the Foreign Ministry, some 200 Israeli travelers. Indian authorities are advising people there to find safe ground and stay put on it for the time being. Well, joining us in studio is Hilik Magnus. He's the operational manager of Magnus International Search and Rescue that has assisted Israelis out of some tight spots abroad. First of all, Hilik, what could you say for the families, the relatives of those people who are cut off for the time being in northern India? How concerned should they be about the situation?
The goal of this meeting here between us is to tell the people, listen, there are no chance that somebody is in a real danger. They are disconnected from the communication. They are blocked by roads that are overflowed with water and sand and mud, but they are safe. The only issue is that we cannot create a communication between them. We sent a delegation to the north of India. We got there several employees that are already there, but they are moving also without communication.
Right.
But they are checking that the situation is well and nobody needs help.
Right. So what should the government be doing? Explain what you're doing. What should the governments be doing, including the government in Israel, here to at least reestablish that communication?
The government of Israel got nothing to do with this. That it's in the hand of an insurance company which called Passport and Magnus International Search and Rescue, and we decided together to create a delegation to solve the issue, to provide the communication and to bring the news back home so the parents may relax a little bit. Right.
But of course, there is flooding in that area. We understand if those people are safe. There's no reports of Israelis in any specific danger. But what advice, what should those Israelis be in India be doing at the time to at least reduce any possible risk?
Listen, the Israelis are traveling in India and having a vacation in India. There are two kinds of travelers. Those are moving and those who are seated at the very same place all the time. And they change from period to time and the location of them. But they are not traveling. They are not making treks or rafting or things like this. They are stable. So they are in safe places. And what we can tell them is, please don't go to anywhere else, stay where you are. In Kasol, for example, which is the Parvati Valley, where are concentrated a lot of Israelis.
And there was heavy flooding in the Parvati Valley, and there was some casualties, I guess, on the Indian side.
It's not only heavy rain, it is outstanding event.
Right.
It's a nature disaster, a real nature disaster. It's in different sides, which we are used for the last 30 years that I'm following the issue. Every year, the monsoons will cut the roads and create some blockade on for the travelers and keep them for 4 or 5 days at the same place until the roads will be cleaned out. It is a usual event, but not in this size. Not in this size. It is something tremendous big, and very heavy rain and a lot of floods. And it creates problems. Bridges collapse, for example.
We just saw footage of landslides on the roads there, a car being crushed by a boulder.
It's a geological event.
Right.
A real size of a geological event. And the problem is that the first time we faced another thing, the communication collapsed, but totally.
Right.
Totally. We got satellite beacons, right, which are not allowed to be used in India since the terror event in Mumbai.
Right.
The regulation don't provide any license for a satellite device. So unfortunately, we don't have their satellite device, and the communication is the problem.
All right, so
we do hope that in the coming 2 days, the communication will be fixed, so everything will be peaceful.
Well, hopefully that will be the case, and all those Israelis will be back in touch with their families and eventually safe and sound. Hilik Magnus, Magnus International Search and Rescue, thank you for joining us.